Okay. Is marketing the same as advertising? Yes. Marketing is the overall organizational activity. It includes planning, pricing, promotion, packaging, advertising, and selling of any value offer. Compare and contrast production orientation, sales orientation, marketing orientation, societal marketing orientation in regard to their central focus. So production orientation is when a company decides what they can make instead of what the marketplace needs. Sales orientation is the belief that people will buy goods and services with very aggressive sales techniques because these high sales equal high profit. Marketing concept, the idea that society and economic justification for an organization's existence is satisfaction of the customer's wants and needs while meeting the organizational objectives. Market orientation is a philosophy that assumes that a sale does not depend on aggressive sales force, but rather on a customer's decision to purchase a product. Societal marketing orientation, the idea that an organization exists not only to satisfy the customer's wants and needs, but to meet organizational objectives, but also preserve or enhance individual and societal long-term best interests. Okay, which organization seems to characterize better business philosophy? Societal marketing orientation. Okay. Okay. All right. Ansoff's strategic matrix. One method for developing alternatives is Ansoff's strategic opportunity matrix. So market penetration, a firm using the market penetration alternative would try to increase a market share among existing customers. Fast food giant McDonald's introduced all-day breakfast in 2015 in an attempt to encourage its breakfast-loving customers to visit the restaurant more often. Market development. Market development means attracting new customers to an existing product. Ideally, uses old products to simulate additional sales among existing customers while also bringing in new customers. McDonald's, for example, has opened restaurants in Russia, China, Italy, and eagerly expanding to the Eastern European countries. In nonprofit arena, the growing emphasis on continuing education and executive developments by colleges and universities in a market developed strategy. Product development. A product development strategy entails the creation of a new product for present market. In 2016, Abbott Laboratories introduced a new line of healthy snacks called Curate Bars to complement the Ensure and Glycerna meal replacement lines and its Similac infant formula line. These bars featured unique flavors, rich texture, healthy ingredients to appeal to a growing, health-conscious market. Diversification. Diversification is a strategy of increasing sales by introducing new products to new markets. For example, Harley-Davidson recently launched 2 new motorcycle models made specifically for women after the country saw that 30% increase in sales to female riders over the last decade. The new bikes are sleeker than the men's bikes and have a smaller hand grip, lower seats, and a different foot peg position to appeal to the female rider. A diversification strategy can be risky when a firm is entering unfamiliar markets. However, it can be very profitable when a firm is entering a market with little or no competition. Okay, so what are the marketing mix refers to a new blend of marketing variables known as the 4 Ps. And here they are. Product strategy is the marketing mix typically starts with a product. It's the heart of the marketing mix, the starting point. It's the product offering and the product strategy. It is hard to design a place strategy, design a promotion campaign, or set a price without knowing what the product is. The product includes not only the physical unit, but the packaging. I missed my thing. But it also includes the packaging. The warranty, after sales service, brand name, company image, value, and other. Like Godiva chocolate has many product elements. The chocolate itself, the fancy gold wrapper, a customer satisfaction guarantee, and the prestigious Godiva brand name. We buy things not only for what they do, benefit, but we also buy them for what they mean to us, status, quality, reputation. Products can be tangible goods such as computers, ideas like those offered by consultants, or services such as medical care. Products also offer customers value. Product decisions are covered in Chapter 10 and 11. Okay, next is plan, distribution, strategic place. For distribution, strategies are concerned with making products available when the customers want them. Would you rather buy a kiwi fruit at a 24-hour grocery store within walking distance or fly to Australia to pick your own? Part of this P, place, is physical distribution, which involves all business activities, include concerned with storing, transporting raw materials or finished products. The goal is to make sure products arrived in usable condition at a designated places when needed. Okay, promotional strategy. So promotion includes advertising, public relations, sales promotion, personal selling. Promotion role in marketing mix is brought about mutually satisfying exchanges with target markets by informing, educating, persuading, and reminding them the benefits of the organization of a product. A good promotion strategy, like using a beloved cartoon character such as SpongeBob SquarePants to sell gummy snacks, can dramatically increase sales. Each element of the P, promotion, is coordinated and managed with others to create promotional blend or mix. Pricing strategy. Price is what a buyer must give up in order to obtain a product. It is often the most flexible of the 4 Ps and the quickest element to change. Marketers can raise and lower prices more frequently and easily than they can change the marketing mix variable. Price is an important competitive weapon and is very important to the organization because price multiplied by the number of units sold equals revenue for the firm. Okay, so number 7, it is almost impossible for a firm, because of its limited resources, to pursue all marketing opportunities. Conduct a situational analysis, SWOT, SWOT, on Pampers and the market opportunity. Marketers must understand the current and potential environment in which the product or service will be marketed. A situation analysis is sometimes referred to as a SWOT analysis. That is, the firm should identify its internal strengths and weaknesses and also examine external opportunities and threats. What's environmental scanning? Environmental scanning is the process of gathering information about events and their relationships within an organization's internal and external environment. The basic purpose of environmental scanning is to help management determine a future direction of an organization. Okay, so what is a firm's competitive advantage related to situation analysis? So performing a SWOT analysis allows firms to identify their competitive advantage. A competitive advantage is a set of unique features of a company and its products that are perceived by the market as a significant and superior to those in competition. It is the factor or factors that cause customers to patronize a firm and not the competition. There are 3 types of competitive advantage: cost, product/service, and differentiation and niche. Having a cost competitive advantage means being the low-cost competitor in an industry while maintaining satisfactory profit margins. A product service differentiation competitive advantages exists when a firm provides something that is unique and valuable to buyers beyond simply offering a low price than that of a competition. And then a niche competitive advantage seeks to target and effectively serve a single segment of the market. For small companies with limited resources and potentially face giant competitors, niche targeting may be the only viable option. A market segment that has good growth potential but is not crucial to the success of major competitors is a good candidate for developing a niche strategy. Okay. Marketing to Hispanics, opportunities. Hispanics make up the largest group to use mobile devices for any type of transaction, from banking to watching movies. Research shows that 49% of Hispanics plan to change their smartphones in 2016. This is not surprising, as 40% of the Hispanic population are millennials. Millennials often utilize online video streaming service in addition to broadcast television for content consumption. Hispanic millennials in the United States are particularly prone to taking a bilingual or bicultural approach. Increased budget of mobile providers leverage social media advertising to use bilingual approaches. Threats: not understanding, not being in touch with Hispanic culture, not appealing to the bilingual Hispanic millennial population. Okay. Growing population of people older than 50 is creating opportunities for marketing. Marketers need to provide a lot of accurate information about their products, particularly when the goods and services are a great value. Gen Xers have spent about 30 years in the digital revolution and are not stopping now. 84% bought a smartphone in the last 2 years, and 71% bought a new tablet. 60% use a smartphone every day, while 67% use a laptop or PC every day. 48% Gen Xers tend to go online to shop, bank, research products for best deals, read the news. Personal ads boost favorability and purchase intent with Gen Xers more than any other generational group. Okay, why is it important for U.S. managers to adopt a global vision? Global marketing that targets markets throughout the world and has become imperative for business. U.S. managers must develop a global vision not only to recognize and react to internal market opportunities, but also to remain competitive at home. In summary, having a global vision means recognizing and reacting to international business markets, using effective global marketing strategies, and being aware of the threats from foreign competitors in markets. So why do companies need to go global? One of the reasons why business needs to expand globally is to be able to provide a reliable service to the international client. A good global reputation will attract new customers. Expanding abroad allows companies to build name brand recognition and establish credibility internationally. Okay, what are the keys to international marketing to adapt to the culture to a target market? Companies are spending time understanding the culture of a market, of a target market they wish to market in. Companies can then make incremental changes to their product using global marketing mix, i.e. product and price adaptation, to increase acceptance rate of their product in local communities. Okay, what is self-reflection criteria? Self-reflection criteria is often defined as an unconscious reference to one's own cultural values, experiences, and knowledges as a basis for decision. That is to say that one's own culture or company knows the best how to do things. For example, people may make the wrong business decision in a foreign country by thinking how they would handle that same situation in their own country. Okay, discuss the advantages of each product and promotion strategy in developing a global marketing mix. One product, one message, product invention, product adaptation, message adaptation. Which one is the best? One product, one message. This means developing a single product for all markets and promoting it in the same way all over the world. Product intervention means either creating a new product for a market or dramatically changing an existing product. Product adaptation means to maintain the same basic product. This means to maintain the same basic product. Bud Walter, the promotional strategy. For example, bikes. In the US, bikes are for enjoyment. In other parts of the world, bikes are the main way that people travel. Why is consumer behavior important to marketers? Studying consumer behavior is important because it helps marketers understand what influences consumers' buying decisions. By understanding how consumers decide on a product, they can fill gaps in the market and identify the products that are needed and the products that are obsolete. Okay, based on the model of consumer behavior, provide a brief explanation of how each factor affects a consumer. So, need recognition. A want is recognized of the unfilled need, and a product will satisfy it. For example, I have a blister on my foot, so I need a new pair of shoes. Or my car broke down and cannot be fixed. I need a new car. Information search comes next. After the need is identified, the consumer will look for alternatives available to satisfy their needs. They'll look for information, they'll go on the internet, they'll ask people. Evaluation of alternatives. Now the consumer will use all this information and make a set of criteria. For example, now that I need a car and I've researched all these things about cars, now I know certain things. I want a 4-door, not a 2-door. That's a criteria. I want a black car, not a white car. Another criteria is color, how big, how good it is on gas. I want a 4-wheel drive. Next comes the purchase. Now the consumer must decide whether to buy it, when to buy it, what to buy, where to buy it, and how are we going to pay for it. And then finally, post-purchase behavior. How will these expectations are met and whether the consumer was satisfied or dissatisfied with the purchase. Provide an example of how each individual, psychological, societal, and cultural factor affects a customer's decision to buy. So an individual, they have a gender. So if they're a woman, they may decide one thing. If they're a man, they may decide something else. Age. If you're 50, you may make a different decision about a car. If you're 17, you may make a different decision about a car. Where you are in your life stage. When you were little, we needed a big car because I needed a car seat in the back. We don't need a car seat anymore. You're older. Now I want a little car. My personality, what kinds of things, how do you interact with your personality and your lifestyle? All of these things will come into factor. Then your psychological, right? So then it's just like your overall perception. Oh, I want a Mustang. That's the hot car. That's what I want. Motivation. I want to draw. I'm motivated to have an expensive car because it shows I have a lot of money. And that also ties into societal, right? Because we look at society and we base our purchases based on what other people are going to think of us based on how, what we purchase. Okay. A customer perception is selective. What is the relationship between a customer's perception and salient clues? Customers buy what they perceive, and what they perceive is heavily influenced by clues, brand name, packaging, colors that marketers send to them. Okay, describe the customer decision-making process. The customer decision-making process is the process by which a customer becomes aware of and identifies their needs, collects information on how best to solve these needs, evaluate the alternative options, and make a purchase decision, and then evaluate their purchase. Okay, how is learning different from motivation as a psychological influence on customer buying decisions? Motivation is the driving force behind purchasing decisions as consumers are actively seeking to satisfy their needs. It encourages impulse buys, ongoing interaction with your brands, and makes them more likely to want to learn more about you. Consumers don't come in one shape or sizes. Okay, reference groups. Reference groups are considered a societal influence in consumer purchasing. They are often groups that consumers will look to make purchasing decisions. So if a reference group endorses a product, either through the use of a statement about the product, those that look to the group will often purchase that product. Marketing segmentation helps companies better understand a market to specific groups of consumers that their similar needs and habits. In each market segment, there are typically 3 things that are in common to all segments: homogeneity, distinctiveness, and reaction. Okay, to be useful, a segmentation scheme must produce segments that meet 4 basic criteria. Okay. Substantiality. Segments must be large enough to warrant developing and maintaining a special marketing mix. Identifiable and measurable. Segments must be identifiable and their size measurable. Accessibility. The firm must be able to reach members of the targeted segment with customized marketing mix. Responsiveness. The market can be segmented using any criteria that seems logical. Which of the strategies for selecting target markets seems more incompatible with marketing orientation? Undifferentiated targeting, because it does not take into account individual buyer preference. It assumes all buyers have the same needs and can be influenced with the same marketing mix. And you know that's not true. Okay. Market research provides critical information about your market, your business landscape. It can tell you how your company is perceived by the target customer and client you want to reach. It can help you determine who and where your customers are and which customers are likely to do business with. Okay? Which are the most important steps in the marketing research process? The most important part in the marketing research process is defining the problem. In order to do any research and collect data, you have to know what you're trying to learn from the research. Okay, what is the difference between secondary data and primary data? Primary data is the type of data that is collected by researchers directly from the main source, while secondary data is the data that has already been collected through the primary source and has made readily available for researchers to use their own research. The internet is an ideal starting point for conducting secondary research based on published data findings. Okay, compare the advantages of probability sampling procedures to non-probability sampling procedures. Getting responses using non-probability sampling is faster and more cost-effective than probability sampling because the sample is known to the researcher. The respondents respond quickly as compared to people randomly selected, as they have had high motivation level to participate. How would you define a product in the manner consistent with marketing orientation? Marketing orientation is an approach to business that prioritizes identifying the needs and the desires of the consumer, creating products and services that satisfy them. Companies that have a market orientation consider the opinions and needs of their target market as a critical component of their research and development for new products. Okay, so describe the main categories and classification of consumer products and provide an example of each. Okay, convenience products. These are inexpensive items and they take little effort to get. They're candy, soft drink, aspirin, there's no product. Shopping products. A shopping product is usually more expensive than the convenient product and is found in fewer stores. Consumers usually buy a shopping product only after comparing several brands or stores or styles, particularly price, lifestyle compatibility, and they're unwilling to invest some time researching to get the best deal. Now, a specialty product. When consumers search extensively for a product item, they are very reluctant to accept substitutes. Like if you're going to buy a Rolls Royce or an Omega watch or Bose speakers. And then the unsought products. These are things that people do not want to buy, but they need to buy, like insurance or a burial plot. Okay. Describe the product life cycle in terms of industry sales and products. Okay, so a new product strategy links the new product development process with objectives of the marketing department, the business unit, and the corporation. So now, idea generation comes in many forms, including customers, employees, distributors, competitors, R&D, consultants, other spectrum. Then idea screening. This is the stage called screening. It eliminates ideas that are inconsistent with the organization's new product strategy and are obviously inappropriate for other reasons. Business analysis. This stage is where they figure out the demand, the cost, the sales, the profitability, and all this is calculated. The development. The R&D or engineering department may develop a prototype for the product. Next, test market. This is a limited introduction of the product and a marketing program to determine the reaction of potential customers in the market field. Commercialization is the decision to market the product. Okay. All right. So why is a new product development process funnel shaped? A 7-phase process for introducing products. Idea generation, screening, concept testing, business analysis, product development, test market, and commercialization are all part of the marketing strategy, sharpens the focus, and provides guidelines. A funnel shape to highlight the fact that each stage acts as a screen or a filter out unworkable ideas. Okay, and we have this here. Now you're going to go back to that Pampers story. Okay, why is it more difficult to evaluate a service than a quality good? Okay, the basic difference between services and goods is that services are intangible. They're intangible performance. You can't pick up a service in your hand. Because they're intangible, you can't touch it, see it, taste it, hear it, smell it in the same manner you can pick up a product in your hand and look at it. Because of the 4 unique characteristics of service quality is more difficult to define and measure than is the quality of a tangible good. Business executives rank the improvement of service quality as one of the most critical challenges facing them today. All right, and so here are the 5 components of quality service work. Reliability, the ability to perform the service dependably, accurately, and consistently. Responsiveness, the ability to provide prompt service. Assurance, the knowledge and courtesy of the employees and they're willing to convey trust. Empathy, caring, and individualizing the attention to the customers. And the tangibles, these are all the things that you can touch. The physical evidence of the service. And these are the things that they would use, the physical tools and the equipments they would use. Okay? Are manufacturers and consumers better off with or without intermediaries? Okay. All right. So provide logistics support. Intermediaries are good. Intermediaries are engaged as they provide logistical support. They ensure smooth and effective physical distribution of goods. They share the cost burden. They adversely affect revenue because if you pay the middle person, the price of the product goes up. Okay. All right. Direct channel distribution is the means by which companies get a product straight to the customer without using an intermediary. Some businesses may utilize structures that involve a middleman to handle the distribution of their goods. Okay, list and explain the main retail marketing strategy components. There are 5: scope, goal and objectives, resource, deployment, and a sustainable competitive advantage and synergy. These 5 components help bring new customers to a business and help increase how much the customer has already purchased. Okay. What are the components of supply chain? Many modern companies are turning to supply chain management for competitive advantage. A company's supply chain includes all the companies involved in the upstream and downstream flow of products, services, finances, and information extending from the initial supplier to the point of origin or the ultimate customer, point of consumption. Planning. This is one of the most important stages. Information. The world is dominated by a continuous flow of information. Source. Suppliers play a very crucial role in supply chain management system. Inventory, production, location, transportation, and a return of goods. Okay, using the communication process model, explain why the word of mouth is more likely to be effective than the personal selling and advertising. Word of mouth allows for flexibility of messaging in terms of content and control over the situation. What are the main strengths of each element of the promotional mix? Some of the most important elements used in promotion are the following: advertising, sales promotion, personal selling, and public relations. The promotion element of marketing mix is concerned with activities that are undertaken to communicate with consumers and distribution channels to enhance sales of a firm. Okay, all the things in yellow you're going to just continue to look at. Okay, all right, and we're coming up on the end here. Why is demand and cost the 2 most important factors in setting a price? Because the relationship between the price and the consumer demand. And I think that's all we have. And that's it. That's all we have. We're going to take a look at the rest of this later, see if we can give you some more talking points there. But that's it.